Here's a Duracraft 10-inch box fan, model DB-10. I've seen the box for this fan before. I think they marketed it as a window box fan, or maybe they just called it a window fan. Supposedly it was water resistant to some extent. I've been looking for one of these fans for a couple of years now, and I've had plenty of chances to buy them on eBay or just the various resale websites, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, wherever. They're out there, you can find them, but I just never really wanted to pay asking prices for them. I had a feeling that one day, based on the fans that I've seen at Goodwill, fans that I've picked up at Goodwill, I had a feeling that this fan was going to show up on the shelf at Goodwill someday, and if I'm patient, it'll be there for me one day. And about 2 years later, I think, it finally did, for $249. So how about that? I think there are 2 or 3 other variations of the 10-inch Duracraft box fan, and I want to say this is the best one just based on some of the reviews that I've seen. I think this is the oldest one. It still has this push button, like child-proof rotary, where you gotta push down and turn it. It's a Duracraft Corporation. It's not a Cas fan or Honeywell fan. Model DB-10, draws 0.8 amps. I don't see the date on it. I think normally there would be some kind of a date code on these little stickers here. Maybe it faded or something. But I would put this somewhere in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. The fan's already plugged in. It's 2 speeds. And I guess Duracraft fans are kind of hit or miss when it comes to just how well they age, as far as the motors holding up and staying lubricated. I've seen some that will barely run at all, and I've seen some that run like new when you find them. I guess it just depends on what they were exposed to and how much they were used. I would expect this one to be a little noisy, maybe a little rattly, maybe have a tough time getting going at first. We're gonna find out. So I guess we'll start. We're on the off position. We're gonna start on the low speed. And started right up. And it's moving pretty good. And I don't hear any squeaks or shrieks or rattles, or maybe a little bit. I hear a little titter tatter going on in there. Yeah, okay, so there is a little bit of a dry bearing sound, which is extremely typical. I mean, it's pretty faint though, so that's good. Fan's pretty dusty, obviously. I didn't really pay attention to how dirty the motor was. Okay, so that doesn't seem bad at all. I would expect this to have been a lot dirtier. I mean, it's pretty dirty, but I would have expected this to be worse. So maybe the fan wasn't used very much. The inside of the cabinet isn't very dirty either. And I don't think that it's from anybody having cleaned it ever. It's just, there's a dead spider in there. Rest in peace, friend. Well, let's go to the high speed. Yeah, I think this might just be a low hours fan, based on the fact that it's running pretty good and it's not very dirty, other than just the typical dirt that you would see from a 30-year-old fan. And that's not even really typical, I don't think. It's fairly clean. And it's running pretty strong on high speed. And I don't hear any motor noise. The air movement's okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Very suitable for a kitchen or bathroom window, which is exactly what I wanted this fan for. And I think this is the best case scenario. See what the spin down is like. Wow, that's pretty good. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. Best case scenario for sure. I don't mind this switch being on top of the fan like this. There's a couple other models of older Duracraft fans where they have this child-proof safety switch, but it's on the front of the fan. So you have to try to push it in, and then you're pushing the fan all over the place trying to turn the fan on or change speeds or do whatever. But when it's on the top and you're just pushing the fan down, you're not pushing it away from you or anything. So I don't mind that switch too much being up here. Yeah, pretty good. Excellent. And Goodwill has been on an incredible dry spell when it comes to fans. I have not been seeing any fans in there lately. I mean, hardly at all. And to walk in and see this on the shelf staring right at me, this was the only fan they had in there too. And I get the feeling they must have just put it out. So, lucky me. Hell yeah, cool Duracraft 10-inch window box fan. Get this thing cleaned up and put it to use. Thanks for watching.